And as the crowd waits in anticipation, here they come. Victorious at Lang Park just 2 weeks ago. The New South Wales side led out by their skipper Wayne Pearce. The enormous banner erected to greet the New South Wales side, and the fans love it. Wayne Pearce, captain of the side up in Lang Park, of course, retains his job tonight, and he's done a great job of geeing his teammates up. Still yelling encouragement as they run onto the field to join him. The fans have plenty of humour about them. New South Wales went into the Lang Park match as underdogs, won it quite convincingly, and as a result are hot favourites tonight. But don't underestimate the Maroons. The coach, Ron Willey, went to Lang Park and came away victorious. Peter Sterling, the halfback from Parramatta, what a fine game he had in Brisbane 2 weeks ago. Now the crowd waits in anticipation of the Queensland side coming down the stairs. You'll hear the boos. The crowd hasn't seen them yet. Wally almost hit the deck for the first time tonight. As they run onto the field. There are 5 changes to the Queensland side that played 2 weeks ago. Here's the side. Gary Belcher is there instead of Colin Scott. Shearer on one wing, Kiss there instead of Close. Meninga and Miles in the centre. Lewis and Murray, the 5'8" and halfback. Ian French is the lock forward, replacing Bobby Lindner, but Lindner got a belated chance when Brian Neebling withdrew today. He's in the second row with Gavin Jones. Darryl Broman in the front row with Cavill Hugh, another new player, and Greg Conescu at hooker. The New South Wales side, only the one change from the victorious Lang Park team. Gary Jack fullback, Hetherington there instead of Steve Morris, who withdrew with injury. The other winger is Farah, O'Connor and Mortimer in the centre. Kenny and Sterling at 5'8" and halfback. Wayne Pearce is the lock and captain. Cleland Folks in the second row. Tunks and Roach are the 2 props. And Roy Simmons, our man of the match in Brisbane 2 weeks ago, is there as hooker. And there he is, the man they call the Grasshopper. In fact, they call him many things. If the players have any sense, they'll call him Sir. Barry Gomersall is the referee. Mal Meninga, one of the many Sydney-based players in the Queensland side. And there's the captain, Wally Lewis. We're all set. Referee Gomersall asking both sides if they're ready. New South Wales need to win this to wrap it up. There's the kick-off. We're underway in the Winfield State of Origin match number 2. And New South Wales starting it off, and down it goes to Belcher. His first touch of the football, and he's brought down just short of his own quarter line. Cavill Hugh. Now Lindner running from dummy half and making some progress as well. Now they're 10 metres short of the halfway mark, Queensland. Conescu back for Meninga. The long kick. Gary Jack waiting for it. He has it, but he's only 10 metres out from his own line now. Met and put down in a pretty hefty tackle by the 3 Queenslanders. So New South Wales have the ball now, just 15 metres or so out from their own line. Roy Simmons is dummy half. Running off him is Roach. He's up to the quarter line. Simmons to the left, this time to Tunks. The Tunks put down by Lindner and Miles. Now it's back for the kick. Mortimer sending it back down to Queensland territory. Les Kiss not taking it cleanly, knocking it behind him. Put down in a very strong tackle from Wayne Pearce. Jack Gibson, I know that Kiss is one of your favourite players.
Well, I think he's the best player to come out of Queensland this year, and maybe a year or two back. He can certainly cross the line, and he's got plenty of speed and ability to get the job done.
Saw the ferocity in those tackles in as Wally Lewis touched the ball for the first time. Now Queensland have it just on the halfway mark. Fumbling by Konescu, back for Meninga again. And again, Jack has some work to do. It's gone away from Jack. Sterling has gone back for it. Sterling has it, and straight away gives it to Jack. Can't beat the very fast-moving Queensland defence, though. He's put down. A long pass from Sterling across to Kenny. New South Wales have it just 12 metres out from their own line. Old Cleo playing it back for Mortimer again. Poor kick from Mortimer off the side of his boot, but it's going to find touch anyway. So fortune smiling on Mortimer. Finding touch just 10 metres short of the halfway mark in New South Wales territory. These two packs about to come together for the first time in this scrum. Be fed by Murray for Queensland. Gone with the feed. Back with Lewis, running around with Belcher. Belcher saw the little gap. Still going is Belcher, linking up now for support with Miles. Away it goes to Shearer. He's back alone. Well, maybe a golden opportunity for Queensland. And Shearer putting it down.
Well, it just squared it out. And he had to run that try, and if he held on.
Pretty smart move from Lewis and Belcher. Now New South Wales win the scrum. Gary Jack has it. Put down, though, by French. Pierce running strongly just outside his own quarter. No score in this match. Simmons looking up with Roach. 30 metres out from the New South Wales line. Simmons getting it back for Mortimer. Hits this one better. It's gone down for Belcher. Belcher beats one. Almost beat two and tried to link up with Kiss, but takes the tackle. There's the head-to-head confrontation. Queensland 9-6 overall here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Surprisingly, it's 2-2. No score in this match now as Queensland have it right on the halfway mark. Jones running strongly on the edge of the ruck. Jones 10 metres inside New South Wales territory. It's back for Murray. Now to Lewis. The first kick of the night from Lewis. It's touched a New South Wales player running towards the touch line. Meninga's trying to get to it, but it's beat everyone into touch. These two sets of forwards about to form what will be the second scrum of the match as the corresponding pack weights, with Queensland slightly the heavier. Gone with the feed. Now Lewis has it. Quickly upended by Brett Kenny, but offside was Kenny. Referee Gomersall ruling that Kenny was up too quickly.
Well, Brett nearly beat the ball in. He was up pretty smart.
So Queensland on the attack, Darryl.
Yes, and this is a different sort of Queensland side that we saw at Lang Park. There's a lot of purpose in their attack now as they take the ball up. And their, well, I think their flair in attack is much sharper, and their defence certainly a lot heavier than we saw at Lang Park. 5 minutes in the sin bin here for, who is it, Konescu? No, Konescu not moving. Roach is gone. Roach for New South Wales has gone for 5 minutes in the bin. Well, something we didn't expect. Let's have a look at it on the replay. Now there's Roach, and there's a knee comes up. I guess that's what it's for. That knee into the face of Bryman, and we have Roach in the sin bin for 5 minutes. Queensland now with a chance to put first points on the board. Mal Meninga, only about 5 metres off square and about 18 minutes out. 18 metres out. That was Roach's first tackle, incidentally, so we're talking about the Queensland attack and Queensland defence being a lot stronger than we saw at Lang Park. Here's the kick now, and it's through the post, so Queensland draw first blood at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Queensland leading New South Wales 2-0. We'll be back in a moment. New South Wales very quick to restart the play now. Ball bouncing around in the infield area. Shearer brings it back for Queensland. Some savage defence now as New South Wales go in. And there's plenty in the tackles, let me tell you. Queensland now the football. But look at New South Wales defence as it swamps in and belts them down. Middle field, just short of the 22. Cavill Hugh. Big lump of a fellow. A ball handler, they tell me. We'll see what his defence is like. He'll have plenty of opportunities tonight as Meninga kicks out again. Right down the throat of Gary Jack. He mishandles. Ball goes down behind him. Jack now will bring it back over the 22 and out of the danger zone for New South Wales. Plays it back to Farah. Kinescu in there. So is Jones. Smothering him, ball and all. The Blues have the football in their own half as Tunks belts his way up another 4 or 5 metres. New South Wales the football now goes out to Sterling. Long flatter out the clear. Puts on some pace, the big man. And they come to him too, Queensland, and take him down just short of the halfway line. Sterling trying to wind up his folks. Ran into a brick wall in the shape of Jones. Plenty of him. Back it comes to Simmons and back for the clearing kick through Mortimer. Kicks out towards Kiss. Kiss takes it well this time though. Puts on a bit of pace but too much defence. They bring him down inside the Queensland half. Gene Miles a dummy half. Lewis, no, he goes himself and just takes it into New South Wales half now. Kinescu dummy half. On to Murray. Murray can't go anywhere. Too much blue defence. Kinescu dummy half. Goes back for Meninga. Tactics for Queensland. They're kicking a lot more tonight. And Meninga the one with the boot. Farah brings it back. Wrapped up by Broman over the top. Lindner underneath. New South Wales pin in their own half now as Sterling gets a quick ball out through Mortimer. Goes on to Big Noel Cleal. And it just to stay in the field of play. Sterling now gets it on to Tunks. Tunks winds up and makes half a bust too. Kinescu around the legs with a great tackle. Almost back to the halfway line of New South Wales. Roy Simmons with one out the back door goes on to Pearce, but they quickly wrap him up, ball and all. And it stacks on the mill. Simmons a dummy half. Comes back to Sterling, on to Kenny. Kenny chips for the line. He'll find it too, Kenny. Nice little kick from Brett Kenny. Stabbed for the line and found it. See it again. Just a little tap from Brett Kenny, and that's a nice kick, Jack.
Well, this is the first time they've been in the Queensland half, but they haven't been in their half in possession of the ball. They've been out there a couple of times, and they won't have it this time either.
Murray to feed, got the ball, but the penalty's gone to New South Wales. Murray not happy, walking away, pretty disgusted. Steve Roach waiting to come back on. Be very disappointed at a start like that, Jack.
Well, he's had a few starts like that in previous, but it's the first time he's been binned, I think, so early.
New South Wales with a chance. Tunks now takes up 10 metres out. The Blues have the football. They're 8 metres out from Queensland's line. Simmons a dummy half. Looks for a run. He gets Pearce. Pearce unwinds. They back slam him down about 5 metres out. Back to Roy Simmons. Oh, Simmons belted down by Lewis before he could even unload the ball. Big defence from Lewis. Out it goes to Sterling. Sterling on to Kenny. Kenny claps on a bit of pace. Half the gap, but wrapped up too quickly. Roach now running back onto the field of play. Steve Roach, but New South Wales with everything at the moment. Noel Cleal attacking. And Maurice a chance for the Blues.
As Roach rejoins his team, New South Wales on the attack. Last tackle signal. Sterling a little grubber kick for his outside back. It's everybody's ball. Race for it. Belcher got there. And Belcher is pushed over the touch-in goal area. But a near thing for Queensland. They lead 2 points to 0. It's a fine kick from Sterling, Jack.
Well, he bullnosed his ball out. He never had control of it, but he'd done what was required.
So put over the touching goal by Queensland. Consequently, it's a restart with a drop kick from the centre of the goal line. Lewis will do just that. Exciting start to this State of Origin match at the SCG. New South Wales bringing it back via Farah. 32 metres out from the Queensland line. Simmons across to Sterling. Linking up with O'Connor. Defence from both sides pretty good so far. Simmons getting it away to Tunks. Again, the Queensland defence is good. It's time to Roach. Running off him is Kenny. Kenny through one. A pass which has gone backwards a little bit, picked up by Farah. And put down just about on the quarter line of Queensland. Simmons bring it away to Folkes. Last tackle signalled again for New South Wales. Sterling putting the bomb in the air this time. Belcher's gone back for it. Plenty of blue jumpers coming through, but taken by Belcher nicely. Oh, gee, there's some pressure on him then, Jack.
Well, Belcher's got a history of being pretty smart under the bomb. I know that in Canberra we played him some time back there, and he did an excellent job. As he shows you what he can do.
So restart with a tap kick from the 22. Here's Broman running straight into the New South Wales forwards, Folkes and Tunks. Now across to Cavill Hugh. Makes a few more metres. Queensland now, with the inclusion of Broman and Hugh, have a bit more variation. Everything has been revolving around Lewis in previous games. They've got some alternatives now. Now Lewis getting it back for Meninga. On to Belcher. Beats the tackle of Sterling. The kick from him down for Andrew Farah. Farah taken straight away by the 3 Queensland defenders. Now it's back to Simmons. Caught by his teammate from Penrith, Broman. There's the back weights. Queensland still, although it's a different looking side, still a lot heavier in the backs than New South Wales. Maroons have it just short of the halfway mark. 2-0. Queensland lead. Back it comes now. Again, the kick from Mortimer. Belcher has it. He's got Kiss with him. Kiss has it now. Kiss tries to beat the tackle of Kenny. Does so. Got to the halfway mark. Kiss still going strongly. Belcher's with him, but can't get away. Takes the tackle. Good run from Kiss. Queensland now on the attack. Away it goes to Murray. Inside for Lindner. He gets to the quarter line. Queensland playing with a lot of confidence. Conescu getting it across for, now it's Lewis and French. French caught by Sterling and Cleal just outside the quarter. Here's Shearer. Caught by Mortimer and Folkes. In centre field just on the quarter line of New South Wales. Cross for Murray. A move. Coming up with it was Cavill Hugh. Last tackle now as Lewis puts a little kick through, trying to regain, but it's taken nicely by Chris Mortimer. 2 points to nothing. Queensland lead. And a good run, excellent run from Andrew Farah. Will play back towards the quarter line, across to Sterling. Now to Kenny. Kenny still going. Kenny raining strongly. A overhead pass has gone to the touch judge. Fine run from Brett Kenny. Unfortunately for New South Wales, the pass went astray.
Well, he did everything right till he released the football, and he's not getting paid to throw it over the sideline. It was a wild pass.
So this scrum is just 10 metres inside New South Wales territory. Gone with a feed. Lewis has it. Caught by Kenny. Kisses a dummy half. Now with Murray. Murray takes the tackle right in the cricket pitch area, but exciting football at the cricket ground, Darryl.
Certainly is. In Queensland, what a start they've made, Jack, compared to Lang Park. There's a lot more purpose in their running, and their defence has been first class.
Well, I think they've certainly won 3 scrums. The last 3 scrums, there was 4 scrums contested, and they've had the feed. So they've worked that opportunity.
Lewis with a little bust down. He gets it on the beneath. They're going to score under the post. Queensland made the break and then made the bust. And it's French under the post for the first try of the match. Queensland. Well, that came out of nothing. Have a look at this. The pass went to Conescu, on to Murray. Murray linked up with Lewis. Lewis made the bust, got through Cleal's tackle. They tried to take him ball and all. Meninga then just had French on the inside of him, and Queensland under the sticks. Good try.
Well, Lewis made something of nothing here. He just cut straight up centre field and found Meninga. And Meninga found the lock. The big play was they ran straight.
Lewis there with a bust on the Meninga. Gets it back to French. Beautiful pass, and French beautifully positioned too. Mal Meninga now, lined up dead set in front. It's a sitter. New South Wales. Pearce having plenty to say about the defence as Meninga lines it up. There it goes. Oh, it only just got there, I'll tell you. Only just got there. The score now. Queensland 8, New South Wales 0. O'Connor now restarts for New South Wales. Well, a shock start here. Queensland 8-0. They bring it back. And look at the purpose with Belcher now as he runs. It's Sterling that brings him down. Gene Miles from dummy half just takes play over the 22. Canescu dummy half. Runs from there. Nice little short ball up for Cavill Hugh. Back for Meninga. This has been the tactic, Jack, every time they've got in that area, and they're kicking on about the second and third tackle. Back for Meninga to clear.
Well, they kick straight down centre field. They haven't gone for a sideline shot. They just want field position, and their forwards are upfield before the ball's played, so they're getting a little bit of time.
Gary Jack gets a ball back for Pearce. Pearce looking to unload, but he can't. This defensive Queensland, one low, one over the top, making sure he can't unload the ball. Runaround's going everywhere it comes to Roach. He belts his way. Only 4 or 5 minutes and it's on. There's plenty of punches being thrown at the moment. Royce Simmons was throwing them like Jimmy Carruthers did against Vic Tauil many, many years ago in South Africa. Two hookers having a duel there. Well, it's a clean skin game, the one at Lang Park, with not a punch thrown, but feelings running high. Queensland have to win this one. New South Wales would like to wrap it up tonight. Here's Roach going in now. Bryman over the top. There was Miles, but there's the fight back further as the hookers trade blows. And no damage done there, I would think. Just a bit of pride that was dented. New South Wales have got the penalty. No, he's going to play the ball. Well, Gomersall has been noted that whenever there's a flare-up, he just lets him go. This game bristling with possibilities as Sterling puts a long raking kick down for Belcher. Takes it well, Belcher. Runs it out and almost gets bundled into touch, but manages to stay in the field of play. Queensland now with the ball. Shearer. It was reported that he may have to have a pain-killing injection in an ankle and thigh injury that he has. But so far he seems to be running all right as Jones takes it up and takes it out of that 22 area. Back it goes again for Meninga, so the familiar pattern of Meninga kicking them out of trouble. Hetherington takes it for New South Wales. Gets out of one. Good run, brings it back to the halfway line. Let's see what New South Wales can do now as Pearce does a bit of a dance and loses the football. Well, Ian, pretty bustling play from both sides, but interesting the way that Queensland are using Meninga to kick on that second and third tackle.
Yes, they're playing with the options that they have available now, aren't they? They're using Broman as a foil quite often. Meninga has kicked on 6 occasions. New South Wales win the scrum, and Jack comes charging into the back line before he's caught on the halfway mark. It's 8 points to nothing. Queensland over New South Wales, with the Blues a little shocked, I feel, in the first 20 minutes of this match. Now, what can they do? The Blues caught just 35 metres out from the Queensland line. Sterling across to Kenny. A cut-out pass to Mortimer. On to Farah. Farah got around Shearer, but the defence was coming across in the shape of Lewis to put him down. 32 metres out from the Queensland line as Sterling gets a long floating pass to Cleal, and Crusher goes straight into the Queensland defenders. Last tackle signal for New South Wales. It's back with Sterling. A grubber kick this time from Sterling. Kisses back to cover and runs over the dead ball line with it. Sterling is causing the Queenslanders plenty of problems with his variation in kicks, Jack.
Well, that time the Queensland fullback had very little option but to take it across there. It was a crucial situation. He had 3 or 4 Blues coming down upon him. But they get a little spell here. They're not in any great hurry to put the ball in play.
Playing with a lot of confidence, Queensland. Why wouldn't they? They lead 8-0. Here's the dropout from Lewis down for Sterling. Across for Hetherington. And he's quickly caught by Murray and Canescu. 32 metres out from the Queensland line. Simmons from dummy half. His sparring partner Canescu has him. And some pretty loose tackling now as Stokes makes the pass. Desperation tackling from Belcher. Say what would have been a try. Now New South Wales, can they do it? Sterling across to Simmons. Under the another handed pass to Pearce. Back for Tunks. And then it goes to Simmons. Can he do it again? Roy Simmons is caught just short. So near yet so far. Simmons to play it. Clear dummy half now with Sterling across to Kenny. A long floater out there for O'Connor. And it goes to Farah. Farah's in the score. Farah's there. New South Wales come back. Well, they were so close on the opposite side of the field, and you saw it spin, and that pass from Kenny, that one there. Cut-out pass got into O'Connor, quick hands onto Farah. Farah went straight for the corner, and in he went to put New South Wales on the board.
It was a great shot from Kenny there. Well, he cut out a play. See, the pressure mounted early. They had their forwards and most of their defensive players around that play the ball area, and that quick pass out there was enough to catch him 4 points, but he's very wide for a kick.
I don't think he could be any further out than he is. Right on the touchline. Now, Michael O'Connor has kicked some great goals in New South Wales and for his St George club. Huge angle on this one. The crowd will tell you whether it's there. Michael O'Connor from the touchline. Lagged away. So the score remains Queensland 8, leading New South Wales 4. Queensland bringing the ball back to the halfway mark. That was a good effort from New South Wales. As Meninga is about to restart for Queensland. There's the kick from Meninga. Sterling tried to trap it, but Hetherington picks it up. Hetherington caught by Broman, and Cavill Hugh lost the ball, picked up by Folkes. But the referee Gomasol ruling a knock on. Gee, he must have saw it differently the way I did. Before the ball's even gone in the scrum, there's a penalty to New South Wales against that Queensland front row. So New South Wales now will, via Farah, will try and find touch. Gee, that's a fine kick. A fine kick to put New South Wales back on the attack with the score at 8-4 in favour of Queensland.
Tunks now bringing up hard for the Blues, and this will give them some heart, that score. They needed to score pretty quickly to answer Queensland. Incidentally, Broman's defence never been stronger. He's always been a noted attacking player, 15 tackles. He's leading the Queensland tackle count at the moment. So a player that was put in for his attacking flair is also defending very well tonight. Sterling gets it out to Kenny. Kenny now, New South Wales with a chance with O'Connor. Make a few valuable metres. Sterling again, the little general directing players. He gets it on to Pearce. Pearce with an overhead pass goes on to Cleal with a bustling run. Cleal just short of the 22, centre of the field. So New South Wales have the option to go either side as Sterling puts a floater up. He gets it in. Kenny will get it out again. Oh, great play. O'Connor in for New South Wales. Up another. Kenny pass. A beauty. Oh, listen to the crowd. Well, they had the numbers. Sterling there saw the numbers out. He gave it to Kenny. Kenny made the bust and got a beautiful ball to O'Connor. And O'Connor goes in for the Blues try number 2.
Well, a lot of people played their part there. Royce Simmons got a good smart shot away from dummy half straight to Sterling again, and Kenny was flat strap as he took it. All he had to do, he shot it straight through to that winger. And that was a good try, excellent try.
Well, certainly was. New South Wales, Brett Kenny having a blinder so far tonight, combining with his Parramatta teammate Peter Sterling so well. O'Connor only about half a metre in from his last attempt. A very, very difficult angle. Of course, trying to convert his own try. Well, he just missed with the last one, so he'll adjust the kick from the same angle. There it goes in the air. It looks like it'll fall short. Yes, it does. Waved away. So the score remains Queensland 8, New South Wales 8, locked together. Queensland now bringing it up for the restart through Mal Meninga. What a ball game. 8-all. Meninga drives it down deep. Taken by Peter Sterling. Sterling runs across the face of the goalmouth as he brings it back. Runs into some big men down there, the little man. But what a magic game he's having so far now as it goes on to Roach, the big man, and he's thumped down. It's Campbell Hugh, pretty heavy in defence as the big men meet. Here's Tunks as New South Wales now run it out. Still inside their own 22 as Royce Simmons clears it out. Pearce, barging run. Simmons again back for the clearing kick with Mortimer. Drives it down deep. Belcher there to cover it. And New South Wales ring him. Unloads now to Shearer. But Shearer picked up. He'll be put down pretty heavily. New South Wales back off a little. Belcher is dummy half. Bowman will play it. Back to Konescu. On to Jones. Jones with a short ball up, but they fumble it. New South Wales ball through Kenny. Kenny immediately goes into the attack. Kenny spins the ball back quickly, but can't be done with New South Wales. They're wrapped up too quickly. Sterling now looking for runners, and it's Roach. He says, give me a run. But they meet him, the Maroons. Back for Simmons, on to Sterling. There's Gary Jack up into the back line, making the extra man. Too much defence. Simmons a dummy half. Unloads to Sterling. Little short ball going from O'Connor back into Mortimer. Queensland read it pretty well. Simmons now back to Sterling. He varies with a little tiny kick, and he's brought down. We'll wait and see what Gunnelsall does. He says play on. Crowd don't like that one. Sterling brought down very, very heavily. And the grasshopper said, no, we'll play it on. Queensland now with the ball. Gene Miles. Only makes a metre or so from dummy half. Konescu a dummy half now. Spins it out to Campbell. He gets a good ball out for Broman. But here's this repeat of the little kick, and there's taken out of play by Linda with a big shoulder chuck.
Well, I think, Darryl, that would have been a penalty in Brisbane.
I'm pretty sure it would have been. Back it comes now. Taken by Hetherington. And Ian, the Blues back in attack.
Great game of football. 8 points all is the score. Broman's defence is excellent. He's made 15 tackles, still the leading Queensland tackler at this stage. Now here's Sterling across to Kenny. Now to Mortimer and O'Connor. Linking up with Farah. Caught though by Shearer. And Meninga over the top. Mortimer taking play inside the Queensland half. Simmons getting it away to Roach. Off him was Kenny. Last tackle signalled now for New South Wales. Sterling. His kick for touch is going to be good. It'll beat Belcher. Fine kick from Sterling. brought up the touch judge's flag, only about 12 metres or so out from the Queensland line. Summed the situation up very well. And in it goes. Now the scrum to be worked by Murray for Queensland. Again, it's gone with the feed. Murray caught, though, by Sterling and can't offload. Dummy half French, out of one. Finally held by Simmons, 15 metres out. Or should I say 25 metres out from the Queensland line. The crowd roars as Lewis hits the deck. Canescu, dummy half, back for Meninga. And still able to get that kick in. It's gone down for Farah. Farah the dummy, but takes the tackle. 10 metres short of the halfway mark. O'Connor. Cross for Steve Folkes, right on the halfway mark. An interested observer, Liverpool's Craig Johnston. Watching his mate Peter Sterling in action as the Blues throw it around very nicely. Pearce got it away to Hetherington. Plenty of runners too as Rhodes got it. An overhead pass for Mortimer. Linking up with Mortimer as Pearce for the corner. He's there. Well, there was any number of players involved in that. New South Wales handling superb, passing great. And Wayne Pearce is in the corner. It all started back about here. There was a mix-up with the defence. Hetherington made the break. Roach was there to back up. Heard the call. Flicked it back inside for Mortimer. Outside him was Pearce. Pearce saw the corner. Nothing was going to stop him. Despite Lingner's tackle, he was able to score.
Well, the Blues certainly had a lot of people there. But again, Pearce, he started that play. And he stayed alive. And he's rewarded with a fine try.
Yeah, look at all those Blue jumpers there backing up. Great try. That was Mortimer. A dummy inside, then to Pearce on the outside. In the corner he went. Fine try from New South Wales. They've hit the front 12-8. They're making it pretty difficult for Michael O'Connor, though. They're scoring out very, very wide. He's only about 2 metres in from the touchline. And the ball falls over. Indicative of the way the game is going, Jack, New South Wales have held the ball for 70 tackles compared to Queensland's 39.
Well, Queensland kicked a little early. Probably that has something to do with it, but if Queensland really want to get into this game, they've got to certainly got to pay more attention to Peter Sterling. He's been in there just about on every player's first receiver.
The kick from O'Connor across the face of the goalmouth, flagged away. The score remains New South Wales 12, Queensland 8. Queensland now, after starting so well, scoring the first try and looking very, very confident, now a little slower to get back to the halfway mark as they trail by the 4 points. Meninga restarts again down to Sterling. Straight away to Gary Jack. Jack put down by Murray and Gene Miles. South Wales by Hetherington just outside their own quarter. Simmons, a dummy. Now a good pass to Roach, running strongly. 32 metres out from the New South Wales line. Simmons back to Sterling. Again, Sterling kicking to the open spaces. Shearer is there for it. And Shearer brings the ball up, Darryl. 5 minutes till the half-time break.
Well, a magnificent start by Queensland, having an 8-0 lead at one stage, now 12-8. So they've got to come back, and they'd love to score a try before half-time. Can they do it? They take it away now through Jones. He's big, strong, powerful runner, Jones. Plays for the North Sydney club in Sydney. As they spin along through out to Miles from Lewis, it came. But Miles heavily marked tonight. Gifted player in Miles. Plenty of pace, plenty of size. Cavill gets it quickly out to French. It's wrapped up quickly, though. Canescu a dummy half. Gets it out for Murray. Murray now looking for runners, but they're too crowded. Queensland, they're bunched. And that pass easily spotted by the New South Wales defence as Jones will play it. Last tackle for Queensland. Oh, and a misunderstanding there. It's gone to Lewis. Lewis has kicked for the line. He'll find it. He'll find it on the New South Wales 22. Bit of panic then. They weren't sure who was going to take that kick. See it again. There it goes back. Well, Bryman thought it might have been his, but no, Lewis said, give me a shot for line, and finds it. Scrum won by New South Wales. Hetherington put down. Just a settling tackle. Blues will just run it over that 22, and that's what they've done. Get it out of that danger zone. Pearce will play it back to Simmons. On to Cleal. They'll use the big man now to run it out. The Queensland defence meets him, and they've only made a couple of metres. Simmons, the work play centre field. Goes on to Tunks, another one of the big men. Flicks back, and there's a mishandle. Folks has put it down. So that'll force another scrum right on the 22 centre field. There it was, folks, not expecting the ball. But I guess, Jack, in those situations, you've got to expect it any time.
Well, I must have been in two minds, but it's a great opportunity. They're going to win the scrum, that's for sure.
Scrum's collapsed. We'll see which way the penalty goes. It goes to Queensland. Scrum fell down, screwed around and fell down, and he's given Queensland the penalty. This is another chance. No, this is a differential penalty, so they'll kick for line. It'll give them a very, very good chance for attack. 2.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Critical play now from Queensland. Lewis has given them the chance. Can they do it? Canescu gets it onto Cavill. Hugh. Darting run from Hugh now, but they're nice and deep, Queensland. Lewis, the general. Goes on to Jones. Big, strong, powerful run by Jones. Almost to the New South Wales line now. There's Murray. Murray with a darting run, but the New South Wales defence reads it well. Queensland need to do something pretty quickly. They've got to vary the play. Lewis looking for runners. Linder was too close to him. He's got to take the tackle, Lewis. That's bad play from Queensland. Linder crowded him. He couldn't unload it. Gene Miles, he'll go from dummy half, the big man. Put down, though, plenty of blue defence. Running out of tackles. Canescu gets it on now. There's a little chip kick from Bryman. Up it goes in the goal mouth. Up they go for it. It could be a chance. Bobby Linder's got it. But held up over the line. And there's a try. Well, we'll wait and see, but yes, it's been awarded a try. Kess has scored the try. We'll have to see that on the replay. Bryman put the kick up. Now, it came out from Canescu. It went on to Bryman. Here's the man's skill, and that's why he's in the side. The little chip. Now, they had it covered. Up they went for it. It was loose. Rolling around. Kiss got it, and he forced it. Fair try to Queensland, and that's the one they wanted.
Well, there was nothing new about this play. I think that New South Wales just had to knock that ball over the dead ball line if possible. They didn't want it floating around there because Queensland were liable to score.
Mal Meninga. Right in front again. An easy, oh, well, I suppose he's about 15 metres off centre. 10 metres in. Bobby Linder. Great try for Queensland. Wow, have we got a ball game? 12 apiece. Meninga can put him in front with this one. There it goes. It's off screw though. No go. 12 all. Queensland, New South Wales locked together in the second encounter. Just 5 seconds to half time, and Mr. Gomersall says that's it. Take a break. And we're locked all here at the Sydney Cricket Ground in a wonderful game of rugby league.
New South Wales returning for the second half of this match. 12 points all. It's like starting all over again. The crowd has certainly enjoyed this game of football. There's plenty of people there. We've been told no changes to either side. That's good news because the 26 players that took the field for the first half have certainly provided plenty of entertainment in that first 40 minutes. I trust that those people who are watching in Melbourne and Adelaide are enjoying this exciting game of football. Maybe it's rugby league you're watching for the first time. We hope it's not the last. 12 points all is the score at the Sydney Cricket Ground, as Queensland is about to emerge from the gloomy dressing rooms. New South Wales already on the field, of course. Wally Lewis leading his side out. The man behind him, Darryl Broman, been very impressive in this first half. Coming out behind the Queenslanders, of course, is the referee, Barry Gomersall. Now, we'll check some statistics for the first half. Darryl Broman, not noted as a tackler, leads the Queensland defence from Jones and Miles. Royce Simmons, Broman's Penrith teammate, also leads the New South Wales tacklers with 11 from Pearce and Tunks. In the errors department, missed tackles, Queensland 13 to 10. Drop balls, pretty even. New South Wales got one more. And bad passes, well, New South Wales have thrown 3 of those. Queensland have been judged not to throw any bad passes in that first half. Now, on an average, for every 6 tackles, Queensland has gained 54 metres. New South Wales slightly more. And Queensland only held the football for 9 minutes 45 seconds of that first half, compared to almost 14 minutes from New South Wales. Referee Gomersall checks both sides. 12-all is the score. Second half of this Winfield State of Origin match underway. And New South Wales now in possession as Gary Jack brings it out from his own goal line. And almost gets to the corner line before he's put down by Jones and Miles. But straight away a penalty to New South Wales. Referee Gomersall saw something in the tackle. Jones is the man who's been spoken to. See if we can pick up what it all was. Well, there it is over the top. Jones coming down with a rabbit killer. So Jones is the man who has given New South Wales this penalty on the first tackle of the second half.
Gary Jack receiving attention for New South Wales.
Gary Jack, the player down, and there it is over the top with a rabbit killer. It's been a fairly good one too, because Jack's taken his time to get to his feet. Now the penalty to New South Wales taken by Farah. Finds touch just short of the halfway mark. Royce Simmons will restart with a tap, and away to Tunks into Queensland territory. Simmons away to Roach. Broman there to take him. Now Simmons giving it to Sterling. To Jack on the blind side. Broman again over the top to assist French in that tackle. This time Simmons gives it to Folkes. Queensland defence very, very tight. Opening minutes of the second half. It's with Sterling again. A rubber kick. Shearer takes it for Queensland. And the man who kicked the ball, Sterling, was there to make the tackle. Now it's back for Lewis. "20 metres out from the Queensland line. Broman takes it over the quarter line. Back it goes to Meninga, same pattern as the first half. Meninga sending it down to Jack. Drew Farah. 10 metres short of the halfway mark in New South Wales territory. 12 points all the score. Folkes runs straight into Broman and Konescu. Roach getting it away to Cleal. A good pass to Kenny. Kenny saw the gap and still going Kenny. Caught though by Shearer, but a good run from the New South Wales 5'8", who's had an outstanding match so far. Cleal, a one-handed pass to Sterling. Back to Folkes. Folkes, a left-footed kick down for Belcher. Belcher under no pressure is able to take it. Start to run upfield, got to the quarter line before he's put down by the New South Wales defence. And he's hurt in that tackle. Referee calling time off. And a couple of injuries in the first few minutes of this second half. Let's see what happened. This was Belcher. I really couldn't see what his problem was there.
Well, he ran into a knee. There was a collision course there with the defensive player.
Now, as he's down receiving attention, you see the official attendance, 40,707. which beats the previous record set in this match last year. 40,707. Marvellous crowd at the SCG to watch what is a very, very entertaining game of football. Now, Belcher's okay. We're back with Broman, who's 32 metres out. Across to Murray. Now to Jones, and Jones plays it. Back from Meninga again, following the same pattern. Towering kick from Meninga. Down for Gary Jack. Takes the tackle. Now Hetherington running from dummy half. There's Ron Willey, the New South Wales coach. I'm sure was very pleased with a couple of those tries that New South Wales scored in the first half. They were very, very fine pieces of football. Now we're back with Folks. Line side goes Cleal, running off that Simmons pass. Got to the halfway mark, Cleal, before he's put down by Cavill Hugh. Now it's with Sterling. Again, the kick from Sterling down for Belcher. Oh, what a bad bounce for Belcher too. That's dangerous. Picked up by Meninga, in fact. Meninga moving upfield. He's got support, Meninga. He's to the halfway mark. Got it away to Shearer. And Shearer, ankle tap. Oh, that was dangerous stuff for New South Wales. Shearer will play the ball 32 metres out. Queensland on the attack, Darryl.
They certainly are, as Big Miles makes the bust up the centre and unloads two, and Queensland just clean up the dregs as New South Wales come over the top, but there's a knock-on, so that'll force a scrum. Paul Miles is dangerous when he gets half a metre start. Good attacking play from Queensland. 12-all a score. A thriller here at the Sydney Cricket Ground as Kenny unloads out to Farah. Farah taken down pretty quickly, though. Gary Jack at dummy half. He goes for a little gallop from there too and just gets him outside that danger area of the 22. Royce Simmons, dummy half. He goes from dummy half and makes 3 or 4 metres by G. Does that well. Cheeky little player, the hooker. Again, they go from dummy half, and this time it was Folks, but a loose ball down, and Cavill Hugh has cleaned it up for Queensland, so they're back in possession now. Chance for Queensland. Lewis looking to unload. Gets it to Murray. Murray steps round one, but quickly wrapped up. Folks over the top. Sterling underneath. Gene Miles, what's he doing there at dummy half as the runaround is put on? Broman, the ball runner. The man they're hoping that can slip that pass to break the New South Wales defence as they use the back line. Lewis with a quick pass out to Meninga. They get it on to Shearer. Shearer puts it into gear. Wrapped up though, but makes some good ground. They tried to take the ball and couldn't, and it goes into touch. Very determined run from Shearer. Look at the determination on his face as he tries to sidestep back in the field of play. Too many blue jumpers. He hangs onto the ball like it was a gold nugget. Put one over the sideline, and out of that scrum we've had a resulting penalty which has gone to Queensland. The crowd hooting a bit. Simmons back chatting. That won't make any difference as Lewis now stabs for the line. Right, Queensland now in position. 12-all, I remind you, the score. Tension plus here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Kinescu will play it. Queensland looking for instructions. They're nice and deep. Now they've changed their mind. Set play, obviously on. Murray will take the tap. Out it goes along the line. Murray taken quickly by Sterling, though. They're wrestling and trying to get possession, but they won't do it from there. Miles in the dummy half. I can't understand that. Out it goes quickly from Belcher. Onto Meninga. Meninga brought down. Queensland trying to work the play. They go the blind side again. Broman with a real quick, short little pass there. On to Bobby Lindner. Comes back now to Murray. Murray gets it on to Lewis. Lewis with a floater out for Miles. Miles spins. But they're going nowhere, Queensland. They haven't really made any territory. Gone from one side of the ground to the other. Out it comes to Lewis again. He turns it back inside to Murray. Murray too slow and caught very easily by the New South Wales defence. Kinescu, dummy half. Lewis with a little chip and kick. They all follow through. A little run dead. Well, we thought they might have been a bit more constructive there, Jack.
Well, they're pretty constructive on that tap they had, because the referee had New South Wales standing back 15 yards for the tap. Nothing came of it.
Gary Jack for New South Wales. Tackle on the 22. Back to Royce Simmons. 12-all. All loose ball. Sterling picks it up quickly. Kenny. He's got a bit of room outside. A loose pass! But brought back with a knock-on. Oh, close one for the Blues. Meninga swooped on that like a seagull on a hot chip at Manly. Oh. Here's the ball from Kenny. Just knocked down by Meninga. Went for the intercept and just couldn't handle it. This scrum set.
He's made a mistake here with the feed. New South Wales come up with the ball, but it was New South Wales feed because Meninga knocked the ball forward. Comments
from Jack Gibson. New South Wales in possession, still inside their 22. Queensland trying to pin them down there, keep them there. 12 all. They run from dummy half. Pearce trying to make a few extra metres and almost makes it out to the 22. This time it's Roach. Roach belts and burrows his way another 4 or 5 metres.
Well, they're going to kick it on this play. They're getting set up there.
And you're right. Back it comes to Gary Jack. And he says, let's get out of here. But Queensland underneath it well. G. Belcher's been safe tonight. Takes the tackle. Queensland very slow to get back on side, Jack.
Well, they weren't too quick, I can tell you that. It was a pretty smart kick he got in. He picked up 50 yards on that play. And New South Wales is surrounded Queensland, so they're fullback. They couldn't go far.
Queensland right on the halfway mark. It's with Roman to Lewis. Lewis over the run, but not offload. As Cleal holds him 10 minutes into the second half. Meninga again, this time trying to find touch, but the kick is there for Jack. But Jack is back near his own goal line by the time he picks it up. And across field, still going Jack. And he tried to come inside Lindner, but he put him down with the help of Cavill Hugh. Andrew Farah. Centre field, just short of the quarter line. 12 points all. Royce Simmons has a little scurry from the dummy half position. That was a good run too. He made about 15 metres. Folks at dummy half. Back for Mortimer. Down again for Belcher. Certainly testing him out tonight. Cross field goes Belcher. Almost able to slip the pass, but Sterling took him in the tackle. There's Kiss on the halfway mark. Back from Murray. Under one tackle. Got to 10 metres inside New South Wales half now.
Mr. Graham Bentley from
Across to Lewis.
And Janelle Obeid from
short pass to Miles. On it goes to Belcher. A long floater out there for Kiss. Has been knocked down by Hetherington. Hetherington's lost it. Kiss picks it up and scores. What a try. What a mistake. I don't believe it. I see it, but I don't believe it. Well, Willie doesn't believe it either. Well, here's how it happened. Now, it was Lewis, made the break. A one-handed pass from Miles onto Belcher. Belcher saw Kiss, but his pass was knocked down by Hetherington, who desperately tried to pick it up, had it, lost it. Kiss said, thank you, the try is mine.
Well, it seemed to be a malfunction there, but when you look at it on video, it's a fair try. Replay. The knockback comes down off the New South Wales player. He just fumbles his way upstream for 5 or 6 yards, and Queensland pick it up.
Well, that is one of the strangest tries you'll ever see. I agree with you, Jack. It looked questionable when we saw it first, but the replay has proven Mr. Gomersov was spot on. Mistake made by Hetherington. He was the one who touched the ball in the first place. Kiss didn't get a hand to it until such time as the ball was loose, and he was able to dive over for the try. Now the kick from Meninga is flagged away, so Queensland hang on to the lead, 16 points to 12.
We have a call for Debbie Bertrand from Matraville. Debbie Bertrand from Matraville, would you go to the police room, please, behind the member stand?
New South Wales trailing by 4 points now, restarting play. I guess it doesn't matter how you score the tries, as long as they scored. Queensland taking advantage of that. They lead 16 to 12. And here's Belcher with it on his own quarter line. Cross for Cavill-Hugh. NSW dummy half. Elects to run on his own. Now Murray at dummy half. It's gone back for Meninga. Again following the same pattern. This time Gary Jack hardly has to move. The kick is straight to him. Jack caught by Broman and Cavill-Hugh. New South Wales 10 metres inside their own half. Andrew Farah takes play up towards the halfway mark now. 16 points to 12. Queensland lead. Here's Simmons getting it across to Tunks. Right in the cricket pitch area. Roach. Penalty to New South Wales. Queensland up inside the 5 metres. Well, referee Gomersall had no hesitation. As soon as that Queensland player went in to make the tackle and get involved, he penalised him.
Well, he penalised the Queensland. Roach did. He got a good shot on him. He put the hit on the Queensland defensive player. He came up with a penalty. That's his biggest play tonight, Roach.
So the free kick for New South Wales puts them on the attack just outside the Queensland quarter. Simmons takes the tap. Away goes Tunks. Roman in there doing a lot of defensive work, and so's Cavill-Hugh. Simmons dummy half. Away goes Pearce. Caught by Jones just inside the Queensland quarter. Simmons again, this time onto Cleal. Crusher stands in the tackle, pushed back by the Queensland defence. This is quite a game of football, Darryl.
Certainly is, Ian, and New South Wales have a chance now to come back. As Sterling floats a loose one out, picked up by Kenny. Kenny then puts it into gear, but slammed down on the 22. Roach, dummy half, gets it on to Folkes. Comes back to Royce Simmons, then on to Sterling. Sterling with a little chick, plenty of chases for New South Wales, but taken by Belcher. He's done nothing wrong tonight, Belcher. Dances around, but the defence meets him now, 10 metres out. Linda, wrapped up quickly, held up. Can't do anything about it. Queensland now will look to kick out of trouble. Now it comes with Big Jones. Jones makes a most, but there's been an intercept. Kenny's intercepted as he makes his way to the line now, and he's about 15 metres out. The Blues back in attack. The mode is attacked now as Simmons gets it out to Sterling. Sterling on the crusher, Cleal. Cleal unloads quickly. Folkes is a man with the ball, but Queensland have him wrapped up. Quickly played forward by Folkes. He goes again another 5 metres. Well, New South Wales a chance. Trailing 16 points to 12, New South Wales. Can they come back, the Blues? Sterling dancing around inside. Gets it on to Cleal, but Cleal brought down quickly with a good defence from Queensland now. Back they fling it. Roach gets it on to Gary Jack, but he's belted down about 8 metres out onto the last tackle. Watch for the bomb. Where's Sterling? Back to Sterling now. There it is, a little grubber. This time they run through. Queensland miss. Fumble. We'll wait and see. It's going to be close. No try. Wallen a let off for Queensland then. A clever little kick from Sterling. He decided not to put it in the air. He put it along the ground. Have a look. There's the fumble by French, and Kenny oh so close. Well, New South Wales will get possession back. Lewis will take the drop from underneath the post. Will look for as much range as he can. Gets it in the air now. Sterling underneath it. He's taken some kicks tonight. Sterling comes on to Farah. Farah winds up, but Broman is there to take him. Ball and all, wrestles him down, cowboy style on a bulldog. Tunks. Tough man, Tunks, just takes it up the centre for the settler. Comes back to Simmons, gets it on to Roach. The big men doing their work now. Roach trying to get out of the tackle. Still going, Roach with a bustling, tough run. Back to Royce Simmons. Looking for the runners now. It comes back to Cleal. Cleal belts his way in and out of tackles. He's unloaded to Sterling. Sterling now dancing around, but there's no way he can get the ball out. Gary Jack will play it. Jack quickly now to Sterling. Sterling looking for the outrunners outside. It's Kenny. Kenny inside the Folkes. Wrapped up ball and all. Last tackle for New South Wales. Royce Simmons. Sterling puts it in the air this time. Plenty of chasers. Up they go for it. It's a loose ball again. Oh, and so close. Queenslander down hurt. Bobby Lindner is down hurt. In fact, there's 2 down. The wounded are everywhere, and there it is. Look at that spectacular leap by Tunks, of all people, went up, and Queensland saved the day. Lots of pressure there at the moment, Jack Gibson.
Well, they've been under pressure there for 6-7 minutes. They're going to be under a little more. They've got 2 wounded on the grass. I don't know if the referee has authorities to hold up play that long. I suppose.
Well, Wally Lewis coming back shaking his head. He's got his hands on his hips. He can't understand what's going on here. They're coming off. They're certainly bringing one of them off. No, they're both back up again walking. Brad Tessman, who was called in as a last-minute replacement, plays for the Eastern Suburbs Club in Sydney, is warming up. But let's come back to this match. What a match. Queensland with the ball. 16-12. Queensland in front of the moment. New South Wales get the ball low. Now they've got the numbers. Can they stretch it quick enough? Here goes Sterling. Sterling unloads quickly to O'Connor. O'Connor comes back inside. Still going O'Connor. Room to move now. Simmons gets it out to Kenny. Kenny with a head down. Gets out of one. Throws a loose pass back. Got to be cleaned up very quickly by New South Wales. And they lose ground as Farah plays it back to Mortimer. Mortimer dances now. The New South Wales have run it back into a hole, Will Ian. They've kept the pressure on Queensland. Can they make the break?
Well, can Queensland react to this pressure? They've been under enormous pressure. Now they're leading by 4 points. New South Wales with the football, desperately trying to breach this Queensland defence. Here's Sterling with it. Across it comes now to Pearce. And Pearce is sandwiched in the tackle. Can't offload. Referee says penalty New South Wales. Well, he's waving his hands back to indicate that those outside backs of Queensland were offside.
Well, they may have been offside too, but not that much. Yes, there's a player offside. That was a good decision. The thing that I can't work out, how the Queensland are in front in this game. They're in front before.
Well, he did wait, Jack, until Meninga got into the play, so I suppose that's fair enough. Now, the penalty given to New South Wales. O'Connor's going to have a shot for goal. He's 32 metres out. He's just to the right of the right-hand upright. He's yet to kick a goal. Mind you, he's had some pretty tough kicks. This is probably the easiest kick he's had all night. Michael O'Connor. It's in the air. It looks good to me. Right between the posts. New South Wales are on the way back. Queensland 16. The Blues 14. Meninga restarts play now. And this is quite a game of football we have on our hands. Here's Sterling trapping it with his foot. Getting it back for Hetherington. Hetherington is only about 15 metres out from his own line. Pearce out of one to the quarter line. Pearce caught by Carroll Hugh. Simmons across for Tunks. Now Roach. Penalty New South Wales. Queensland again up inside the 5 metres. Well, that penalty to New South Wales because of the Queensland defence again moving up very quickly inside the 5 metres, Jack.
Well, it's a handy decision for the Blues. Barry, I didn't think he was capable of doing that, but they picked up 2 in that area.
Well, there's Brad Tessman, who wasn't in this side until this morning. Coming out as a replacement. We'll check, see who he's going to replace in a minute. But here's the Blues tossing the ball about and blowing it. Andrew Farah couldn't handle it. There's Tessman going on. We'll see who's coming off. No one wants to come off. And it's Gavin Jones, the second row forward, coming from the field. Brad Tessman on. Desmond was called in as a replacement in this match when Brian Meebling withdrew this morning with a virus. Penalty to New South Wales from the scrum. Feet across is the ruling from Mr. Gomersall. And Wally Lewis, the Queensland captain, puzzled by all that. It's 4 straight penalties that New South Wales have received. This, of course, is a differential, and Farah will kick for touch and finds it right on the Queensland quarter line. Now, can the Blues come back now? Here's Tunks. Line side goes Pearce. Queensland defence holds. Simmons short pass to Cleal. Broman takes him. But they're only 10 metres out now, the Blues. Simmons pass to Sterling, to Kenny. A dummy, but caught by Murray. Right on the Queensland quarter line. Now across to Jack, who's up to make an extra man. A flick pass inside for O'Connor. There's a gap for O'Connor. Still going, O'Connor. Finally caught, though, only about 11 metres out. Last tackle signal for the New South Wales side. It's back for Sterling. A short pass for Kenny. Kenny scores for New South Wales. The old Parramatta combination strikes again. Sterling and Kenny. You can't beat them. Here it was. Simmons at dummy half. Across to Sterling. Everybody waited for the kick, but that short, snappy pass to Kenny. And Kenny went straight for the line. French clear to him. A marvellous try for the New South Wales side.
Well, there's nothing new about that combination. It was Royce, Sterling and Kenny. He shot a couple of long ones, but that one travelled just a metre straight into his heart.
So, New South Wales now hit the front once more. Blue thunder down under. Michael O'Connor will attempt the conversion of that try by Rhett Kenny. Scored about 10 metres from the right-hand upright. This could put New South Wales 4 points clear. Michael O'Connor hits it and made a mess of it. Well, a shocker. A shocker from O'Connor. 18-16, New South Wales lead.
Well, interesting to note, missed tackles. New South Wales 15, Queensland 26. 2 points the difference, 16-18. What a ball game going on now. New South Wales on their 22. Play it out now as Hetherington brings it up. Makes play just over the 22. Plenty of runners coming on. Here's Roach. Head down, the big bulk of a man. Pretty hard to stop. He's had a big game tonight, Roach. Made some tough meatage. Up to Tunks. And the big men just grafting, metre after metre, getting it out of the danger zone now. New South Wales back for the kick. Mortimer drives it downfield. Belcher right in position again. He brings it back for Queensland. Too much defence, though. The chasers for New South Wales doing a big job tonight, Jack.
Well, their kicking game has been pretty predictable, but there's not much you can do about it. They've got some strong kickers. They're kicking it straight down centre field. New South Wales just run down.
At Lang Park, fitness made a big difference, and New South Wales certainly finished on top in that department, but Queensland do look sharper and fitter tonight.
Well, I suppose I'll agree with you. I can't disagree. But they're certainly not playing as well. I don't think they're playing as well tonight as they did last week, and yet they're only 2 behind.
Okay. New South Wales running it out. Hetherington working play midway between the half and the quarter. New South Wales end of the ground. O'Connor, dummy half. Comes back now to Pearce. Pearce had a huge first 20 minutes. It's been a little bit quiet since then. It's the sort of player that now he comes good. He's one of the fittest players playing the game of rugby league anywhere in the world. Roy Simmons back to Sterling. Sterling gets it on to Tunks. Tunks looks to unload, gets it back to Sterling on to Folkes. Folkes with a little bust. Wrapped up though and flung to the ground. Peter Sterling, dummy half. Unloads back for the kick. Mortimer gets it in the air. Gary Belcher coming across to cover again. He's been safe, Belcher. He's been in position well all night. Brings it back to the 22. Looks to pass but says, no, thank you. I'll take it down. 2 points of difference. 16-18. Cliffhanger here at the Sydney Cricket Ground in front of a record crowd. Atmosphere fantastic. Beautiful night in Sydney for rugby league. Plenty hot out in the centre though. NSW dummy half. Unloads now as the chant goes up. The Blues, the Blues. It's Cavill Hugh that'll play it back. NSW out for Lewis. Lewis puts it in the air. Farah underneath it well though. Takes it. Winds up with that familiar style and gets out of 2. Farah out of 2, out of 3. Good run from Farah, still going. They finally belt him down. That's a great run from Andrew Farah, showing plenty of determination. And that's what the Blues are about. They want to wrap this series up. And here's another break. New South Wales with a chance now as they run down. And Crusher Clear will score. And that's about it for the Blues, let me tell you. A great try. Oh, Crusher underneath the post with a beauty. Oh, and that came from nothing. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Explosive running from New South Wales. Here's Mortimer. Now he gets it on the Roach. The big man winds up and look at the determination on his face. He gets it out to Cleal, and no one's going to stop Cleal from there, let me tell you. Under the post, 4 points New South Wales. And up it goes, the jubilation of it all. Jack Gibson.
Well, Roach deserved this. Since he suffered that 5 minutes in the sin bin, he's really worked. He's worked tough in defence. He's taken up many times, and he's gone up dry quite a number, but this time he had a result. Clear was there. Well, he's a handy player to have when they're 20 yards out.
And what a wonderful sporting moment there as you saw Roach running beside Noel Cleal, and there's the emotion for you running high, and Roach had his hands in the air saying, go, Cleal, go. Oh, great moment in rugby league. Right, the kick right in front now, O'Connor. He's had some difficult chances. This one's the easiest one he'll ever get. 22-16 with a kick to come. There it goes, and it's right in the high diddle. So make that 24-16. New South Wales in front. Queensland coming back now for a quick restart with Mal Meninga. Can they come back? They've come back all night. Can they do it again? Back for Peter Sterling. Ian Maurice as the Blues bring it back. Give us a rest.
Well, New South Wales have made a change. Gillespie is on. That's him with the ball now. And Peter Tunks has come from the field. Now, there's only 8 points for difference, so let's not get too excited here because Queensland can certainly come back in this game. Peter Tunks, well played, well-deserved rest. Now, New South Wales with Simmons at dummy half, and Simmons still able to offload. Getting it away to Folkes, back to Sterling, back to Gillespie. And Gillespie's caught centre field. Back for the kick from Mortimer. Taken by Shearer. Shearer out of 2. Still going, Shearer. Taking play up towards the halfway mark. Dummy half Miles running from that position. Made another 10 metres. Bad pass picked up by Canescu. Queensland look a little ragged. Canescu's played it. Now it's to Broman. Cut out pass to Murray. Murray is out of 1, but can't beat the tackle of Cleal. 10 metres inside New South Wales territory. Back with Broman to Lewis. Across to Lindner. Lindner still going. Last tackle signal now for Queensland. 24-16. New South Wales lead. It's with Broman. The little chip over the head. Picked up beautifully by Gary Jack. Diving forward. Picked it up beautifully. Took the tackle of Lewis. Across it comes now from Simmons to Farah. And Farah just over the quarter line. The tackling still as ferocious as it was in the opening minutes as Gillespie goes to dummy half and Plays it now. Across back to Roach. Roach takes the tackle. Back for Mortimer. And again, Mortimer down for Belcher. What do you think of Belcher's performance tonight, Jack?
Well, he's not going to lose his possession. He's played smart football. He's had limited opportunities.
It's Queensland in possession as Tessman takes it centre field. Meninga getting up towards the halfway mark. 24-16, New South Wales lead. Wayne Bennett is on the sideline. Wayne, how are you feeling at the minute?
Queensland now through Lewis. Gets it on to Cavill Hugh. He puts a floater out. And Kiss just a little bit forward and brought back. And this will be the crowd. Well, Barry Gomersall has got a lot of criticism at the Sydney Cricket Ground, but by Gee, I think he's had a pretty fair game tonight, Jack.
Well, not a doubt this is his best effort. He's picked out a few things that he must have learned somewhere, but from my point here, I thought the pass was okay.
New South Wales, incidentally, have had 146 tackles. Queensland, 93 tackles. That's possession held. Tessman now. Tessman. 5 minutes to go. Can Queensland come back? By Gee, they're throwing everything in it now as French tries to desperately unload it. Covers up as he goes down too. Back it comes. And away they come. There's Bobby Lindner. Now this fellow's dangerous. He's looking to unload all the time. New South Wales will have to watch him. Queensland working play down centre field. They want to give themselves the option. Murray gets it on to Meninga. Meninga with a good pass out for Miles. Miles loses the ball. Picked up quickly by Shearer. But he's dropped by the Blues. It's the 5th tackle, so they'll kick. Where's Lewis? There he is now with the ball, Lewis, and there's the kick. Not a good one, though. There's plenty of chasers and all. Belted down for your trouble. Royce Simmons with Murray. Murray just hit him, and that hurt Simmons, but he'll take it now with 5 to go. Gary Jack. New South Wales will just play safety first football now. They can wrap the series up, but Queensland desperately want the football. They've got to get the football. Folks, out to Sterling, on to Pearce. Centre field now. Royce Simmons, dummy half. They go the other way. Here's Crusher Cleal. Gets it quickly out and wrapped up with Gillespie. Cleal. Back for Mortimer. Mortimer says, let's get out of here. Now, Queensland have the ball. They've got to throw caution to the wind now, Jack Gibson.
Well, right behind, and there's minutes to go. There's 4 minutes to go. They can't make up the leeway. It wouldn't matter what they done.
Meninga, pass back to Tessman. Gets it on to Lindner. Lindner in the centre field. Clear there. Mortimer there. Plenty of blue jumpers. Comes back for Miles. He's been a dummy half a lot. Broman, half slip. Went to Parson. Thought better of it. Canescu. Back for Murray. On to Lewis. Out for Meninga. Short ball up for Belcher. Belcher with half a chance. They get it on to Kiss. It's brought down with a beautiful tackle from Peter Sterling. A copybook tackle right round the ankles. Jesus, super player. Watch this. There's Kiss. Look at that. Beautiful tackle. And also took him into touch too, forcing the scrum. 19 tackles, Peter Sterling. Great effort. A New South Wales ball. Kenny will play it. Centre field, midway between the half and the quarter. New South Wales into the ground. Comes back for Pearce. He'll just settle it from here, Pearce. Simmons in a dummy half. They're looking for runners. It's Cleal. He wants the ball clear. They want to unload too. He's taken play to the halfway line. Simmons goes from dummy half. He'll make 2 or 3. Unloads quickly. Too much defence for folks, though. With New South Wales, safety first. No silly passes now. Sterling, he'll kick for line. And he'll find it. Oh, find it. It just falls in the touch. Is there nothing that this man can do wrong tonight? He's had a great game, Peter Sterling. Look how cool he is. He just had a look. The defence was up. Took the kick. and just rolling down, and nothing Queensland could do about it. Beautiful kick. Sterling, base of the scrum. Murray has got Belcher with a bit of room to move. He's got a chance here. Here's Shearer in the open spaces. They won't get him. Queensland will go in. Dale Shearer goes in and runs it round for a better angle, and that's a try to Queensland. Oh, it's all happening at the Sydney Cricket Ground tonight. Well, Belcher set it up. There was a pass from Murray, but look at Belcher coming through on the Boyle. He got through tackle after tackle. Now, this run by Shearer. He got through a tackle by Jack, stumbling, but the determination of the line. He had to get there for Queensland and did so. Mortimer there with a late last-ditch tackle. No go. Big try from Queensland.
Well, it's not a doubt New South Wales are looking at the scoreboard and seeing themselves 8 in front. Their intensity dropped off. They relaxed that little bit, and away they went.
Well, Queensland have declined the attempted conversion. They want the ball back. Now, time left. Really ticking away. They want the ball back. They've decided not to take the kick. This is a last-ditch attempt by Queensland. Belcher again. He's got the ball. They run it up. Some big defence. Pearce over the top. Gillespie underneath. He's a big hitter, Gillespie. That hurt Belcher too. Here's Lewis. Lewis now. What can they do, Queensland? Shearer, the man who just scored the try, looking to unload it, but puts a loose one up, and New South Wales have got the ball and listen to the crowd. It was a gamble that Queensland took. They wanted to keep the ball, but New South Wales has it back. 1 minute of play remaining. 1 minute of play remaining. New South Wales just taking it up now. Well, that was a pretty gutsy move by Queensland. They said, no kick, we want the ball back. 24-20. With 40 seconds and the countdown is on. Sterling just taking the settler.
Well, that's the first time in the match I believe Sterling's been tackled. That's his first.
Gillespie unloads quickly. The countdown is on. They kick for line. Queensland take it. Ganescu has said no. There was a knock on there, so there'll be a scrum, and this will be the last scrum of the match with 20 seconds, 19 and counting down. Whew, what a game of football, played at a fierce pace. And there's the countdown with the crowd. He'll feed the scrum. In it goes. Queensland leap on it. Listen to the crowd as they count it down. Lewis puts it up. Queensland chasing through. Kenny has taken it down. It's all. Oh, no, it's not over yet. Now it's all over. Barry Gomersall says that's it. And look at the crowd. Full-time score. Queensland 20 have been defeated by New South Wales 24 as the Blues wrap up the series. Emotion running high here for New South Wales. Gary Jack had a great game tonight. Andrew Farah did nothing wrong. Peter Sterling, a super game. Brett Kenny, what a great game. We've seen Kenny come back to his best as Wayne Pearce is being chaired off. A magic moment for New South Wales. Chaired off, the skipper of the side. Had a great game too. And look at the look on Queensland's faces. Well, there's young Lamb. He didn't get on, Terry Lamb, but he'll be sharing the moment. Big Roach. What a game Roach has had. Mortimer hugs. And Queensland can't believe it. They've done everything to win this game. A fantastic game of rugby league. Nothing in it all the way. Queensland came back and hit their critics with a big performance. And it's written all over their faces, disappointment. Gene Miles, a great player, Gene Miles. Didn't get a lot of chances tonight, Miles. Mal Meninga, look at the look on Meninga's face. Wally Lewis calling them over. A great sportsman, Lewis. 9 tries scored in this match. 9 tries. Look at Shearer. Scored the last try for Queensland as he goes off the field. Could do nothing more. Here's New South Wales. Pearce all fired up. They've taken the series, the remaining match at Lang Park, but they've taken the series. A kangaroo year, an important series for New South Wales.